I'm calling this really the replica house, right? It's a house in the Boston area. We're not going to tell you the homeowner, but take a look at that. Now I want to invert it and then put it next to 34 Fairview so you can see the similarities. Again, everything is inverted. So on the one house, you have sort of that side door is to the left, and now it's to the right when you invert the replica home. Okay, I'm outside the house. Cody and the homeowner are inside. I'm going to make a series of noises from outside the home and see if they can hear it inside the home. I'll begin by honking the horn.
Did you hear anything?
I heard nothing.
I didn't hear anything either.
No. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you heard that?
I heard that.
What'd that sound like?
Car horn to me.
Yeah, I heard the same thing.
Okay.
Okay, the second noise I'm going to make is just revving the engine.
Did you hear anything just now?
No.
You didn't hear any sound at all?
No.
Gotcha. I think I might have heard a car rev or something.
The third noise I'm going to make is just screaming on the front lawn here. Ah! Ah!
To think that.
Did you hear anything just now? As we were standing here?
No, I see Vinny. That's about it.
Yeah. I think I might have heard some talking or a yell or some sort.
The final noise I'm going to make is just talking. Okay, so is everybody okay? Is everybody okay? What's going on here? What happened? Where are you? Can you hear me inside?
So what'd you hear that time?
That was definitely somebody talking outside.
Yeah, I heard the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not like quite a yell, but
Right.
just a regular old
regular
voice.
talking.
Mm-hmm.
Put things in perspective for me, obviously put things in perspective for her, because it's interesting because I kind of had an idea of what I was listening for, but she was totally in the blind. So it was interesting to me that she got two of them right, or missed two of them in the middle. So again, I kind of knew what was going on. I knew the car was revving, I knew it was coming, but the fact that she didn't hear anything, we were in there quiet just as they would have been early in that morning.
Yeah, and this is an important issue, Matt, right? I mean, the defense made a big deal about no one coming out of the house, no one waking up, the dog not alerting.
And then also the prosecution has counterpointed with no one else in the neighborhood has come out either whenever they make that point. But regardless, for the scientific purpose of this investigation, these are people that were drinking heavily, by all accounts, and they were sound asleep. So, I mean, this homeowner was actually knew that she was listening for something.
Correct.
I think it's also important to note, too, here in Massachusetts, in January at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, it's pitch black out, it's cold, it's snowing. As we saw, I think probably the most realistic, interpretation of what was happening that night is the Ring video from 5 or so a.m. when Karen's leaving Meadows, because you see the snow whipping around. And most of us who live here know, that causes a lot of noise. And the fact that it's a sunny day when you guys went, some of the stuff you heard, some of it you didn't, I think it's...
So what's making the noise? The snow's not making the noise.
It's the wind with the snow. It's sort of whipping, and it's everybody's, like Matt said, they've been drinking heavily, so if you're going to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, 4 hours later, you might be well under your covers.
First of all, when, the incident allegedly happened, you have music playing, cars are going in and out, but if you think of when there's a storm, and granted, in Massachusetts, there's no sirens, so keep in mind, the police, first responders, no sirens, just lights. But if you're in a dead sleep and there's snow and there's plows outside and you hear, you don't know if it's a plow, sometimes the plows have lights, there's different types of noise, and I think Matt is right. When you're asleep, you may wake up when you hear something, but you're not fully conscious of what you may have heard. So I believe them when they say that because of it's pitch black, howling wind, and you had to stand next to someone to hear them.
Okay, Cody, I'm about 30 feet from the house, which is where the street would be. Where are you inside the house?
I am currently now in the kitchen, Vinny.
All right, tell me when you see something and what you see.
I see you walking by through the front door. I'm looking right out the front door right now. I saw you come by, walking to my right.
Okay, did you notice anything else about me walking? Nothing else?
Nothing else, that you were just walking.
Okay, you're walking down.
Just walking by.
Let me do it one more time. Tell me again what you see.
I see you walking by with your hand up.
Okay. picture. You're looking where? Through the front door?
Through the front door from the kitchen, yes.
All right, from the kitchen, can you see through any of the windows? If that door was closed, do you see anything through any of the windows?
No. All I have right now is a vision of the front door. There you go, walking back again with your hand up, but that's all I see. No other windows through this vantage point.
All right, Cody, if you could, why don't you go from the kitchen to the dining room, because there were people in the dining room as well. That's when the party seemed to be flowing. Everyone on that first floor, kitchen, dining room, kitchen. And you can casually peek out through those windows and tell me if you see anything and describe it, whatever you see.
Right, so I'm looking, there's 2 windows in this dining room right now. The sun's kind of shining through. I see you walking through the second window. I can see your feet walking through, but of course the blinds are a little bit down, but yes, I can see you walking through on that right window. Right now I'm seeing nothing, and then I see you coming through on the left window.
Anything else more specific about what you're seeing?
No, just you walking by, see your legs walking by, that's about it.
Okay. Why don't you take a stroll up to the windows and take a peek out and tell me what you see?
Moving to the windows right now. Now I see you walking by fully as I'm looking out the windows. Now that I'm close up, I see your hand on your head, walking through the yard back and forth. So I can see you in full clear view at this point.
Yeah, and that's the testimony that we heard, that some people were walking up, taking a peek out. Some people were peeking out the front door. If you look out the front door, you probably get your best view of everything at that point, correct?
Absolutely. Moving to the front door now. And now I can see everything. I can see the full yard. I see you holding your hand out in front of you, and I see everything. The street, the houses across the street, everything.
And I can see you, by the way. I can also see you in that. So, all right, so the kitchen, so give me a summary of what you saw from the kitchen, the dining room, and the front door.
So from the kitchen, I had a vantage point of the front door, but of course I was farther back away from the front door, so all I could see was when you walked through that little window of you walking through just for a few seconds. Now when I moved to the dining room, there was 2 windows separated by a piece of wall in the middle, and all I could see was when you crossed in front of the window to my left, then you went out of view, then you crossed in front of the window to my right, but when I moved closer up toward the window and had an actual peek out, I can see you pretty much clear as day. And of course, when I got close up here to the front door where I'm still standing, I could see you and everything else all around you, the full yard and the whole road and street and the houses across the street and everything.
And I can see you.
You can see everything. Does that mean that when you're looking out, you're always going to see every single thing that's on the lawn? Probably not. And when we look now and say, okay, right, when you look out the front door, you look out the dining room window, of course you can see where the flagpole was. But, you know, as John said, at this point, they're back at the house after an entire night of drinking. I think most understand, you know, there's probably a fair level of intoxication. Everyone's kind of partying, drinking. Are they paying really that close of attention?
But are you bothered by the fact that so many people were going up to the window? Like, when you went up to the window and you looked out, like, you can see...
Right, you got to take it in context. I was thinking about that as we were doing the experiment, Benny, because obviously I was laser focused for the sake of what we were filming. But going up to the window could simply be, oh, Benny, let me see if so-and-so has arrived, take a little peek and come back. And as to Catherine's point, if we're sitting having a conversation and then I look off real quick, that doesn't mean I was looking out the front door. You know what I mean? Right. So preoccupation.
That's true, but you know, going back to Vinny's original point of with your guys' experiment where he's walking, it's a very small yard actually for a very big house. It really is.
Well, you know, it's funny because everybody always qualifies it as a small yard. As a city kid myself, it feels pretty big when I look at it. And you know, it's again, this is one of these things that the jury, as the trier of fact, is going to look at and say, is it reasonable that all of these people did it? Are we going to take into the factors like the weather?
That's where the SUV would be. It would be there, and John O'Keefe's body would be even closer.
But Vinny, you know what else is? There were other people coming and going. So it's not like you're just waiting for one vehicle to arrive. You know, Ryan Nagel's pulling up. There could be other people going up and down the street. I think it'd be much different if we were all just waiting for one vehicle to arrive.